Welcome to the deep dive. This time, we're doing something really special for you. We're diving deep into Stephen King's novella, Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption.
A classic.
Yeah, you shared some excerpts with us, and we'll
Where?
be focusing on Andy Dufresne's story,
That's right.
a man wrongly convicted.
Yes,
His journey to freedom is just captivating.
it really is. It's a story that delves into those themes of hope, perseverance, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity.
Exactly. So, let's set the scene. We're in Shawshank Penitentiary.
Okay.
It's a harsh, brutal, unforgiving prison.
Right.
And we see this world through the eyes of Red.
Yeah,
He's a long-term inmate. He's become cynical,
he has.
but he's also very observant, insightful,
Yeah.
which makes him a great narrator for this kind of story.
Yeah, he's seen it all. He's seen countless men come and go, watched hope just kind of wither away under the weight of the prison system, and yet there's this glimmer of humanity that remains in him. He's still able to recognize something different in Andy.
Right. And then you have Andy Dufresne entering this world,
Yeah.
this quiet, unassuming man, wrongly convicted of murdering his wife and her lover.
You really wonder, how someone like Andy, who just seems so out of place in this brutal environment,
Yeah.
how is he going to survive?
I mean, it's almost jarring how his composure and intelligence clash with the brutality of Shawshank.
It is.
Yeah.
And especially when you consider what he faces right from the start,
Yeah.
I mean, the harsh realities
Yeah.
of prison life are just...
Kin doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't.
The violence he depicts, like the attacks Andy suffers from the sisters,
Sisters, right.
this group of predatory inmates,
Yeah.
it just makes you question how anyone can hold on to hope in such a dehumanizing environment.
And, that's what makes Andy's response so fascinating. Because he just refuses to break.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is.
You think about it. He keeps up this meticulous care for his appearance. He has this hobby of polishing rocks.
It's like these small acts, right? They're more than just habits. It's like he's consciously, intentionally holding on to his dignity, his individuality, even in a place where it's designed to strip those very things away.
Exactly.
It's a subtle but powerful form of resistance.
Yeah. And it doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't.
He uses his knowledge of finance, right, to gain a level of respect, even protection from the guards.
He does. It's like he's playing a different game almost. Within the prison system, he's found his own way to navigate it.
I'm struck by that. He's not just reacting to the brutality. He's strategically navigating the power dynamics within Shawshank,
He is.
which leads to a pivotal moment about his involvement in the prison work program.
He sees an opportunity there.
Yeah.
And not just for himself, but for the other inmates too. Securing funding, expanding that prison library. It becomes a sanctuary for them.
It's more than just books, though.
Oh, it's so much more.
It's access to knowledge. It's a way to escape the mental confines of their reality. And then there's that moment where he uses his financial expertise to help Byron Hadley,
Oh, Hadley, yeah.
this brutal guard, with a tax windfall.
It's such a fascinating contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's helping a man who really embodies the cruelty of that prison system.
Right.
But in doing so, he gains a certain level of control
And respect.
and respect, yeah.
It's like he's not trying to overthrow the system, but he's cleverly working within it to carve out a space for hope.
He is.
You get the sense that he's planting seeds of change, even in the most unlikely places.
He is, and those seeds begin to sprout. Remember when he gets those beers for his fellow inmates?
Oh, yeah.
A small victory.
Right.
But it creates this ripple effect, this sense of camaraderie, shared humanity, even in that oppressive environment.
Absolutely. But then, just as we start to feel this glimmer of hope, King throws us a curveball
He does.
with the arrival of Tommy Williams, this young inmate with a story that could exonerate Andy.
Yeah, finally. Seems like a chance at justice. Like a chance for Andy to break free from this nightmare.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
For a moment, it feels like Andy's nightmare is actually going to end.
It does.
But this is Shawshank,
Right.
and hope is a fragile thing.
It really is.
Because the warden, this truly corrupt figure,
Oh, absolutely.
he's afraid of being exposed of his own wrongdoing.
Right.
So he crushes Andy's chance at freedom.
He sabotages everything. Transfers Tommy, throws Andy into solitary confinement. I mean, King really lays bare the systemic corruption at play. It's a crushing blow for Andy.
It really is. It pushes Andy to a breaking point. I mean,
yeah.
to be punished so brutally for daring to challenge the warden's authority,
Yeah,
it would be so easy to just give up at that point.
it would be.
Huh.
But Andy's different.
Yeah.
He has a plan, and he's been meticulously working on it for years.
Hidden in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight.
This is where the iconic image of Rita Hayworth comes in. It's not just a poster on the wall.
No.
It's a shield, concealing years of painstaking effort.
King paints such a vivid picture of Andy, chipping away at that prison wall with his tiny rock hammer.
It really shows his patience.
It does. His unwavering belief in his ability to shape his own destiny.
I mean, think about the audacity of it all. Crawling through a sewage pipe to freedom.
I know. Can you imagine the stench? The claustrophobia?
Ugh.
It's such a powerful image, though. Like a rebirth,
Yeah.
Both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
He's escaping the filth and corruption that define Shawshank. What do you think? What goes through your mind when you read about Red's reaction to all this?
He's stunned.
He is.
Utterly bewildered. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Right.
But then he finds that letter.
Right.
That Andy had hidden years earlier, confirming his escape.
It's like a lifeline for Red, isn't it?
That's definitely
a tangible reminder that even in a place as hopeless as Shawshank, freedom is possible. It's almost like Andy's spirit is reaching back into the prison, offering Red a chance at his own redemption.
That's a really great point. And it sets the stage for Red's own journey, which in a lot of ways mirrors Andy's journey, but with its own unique challenges and triumphs.
It does. And we'll delve into that journey in just a moment. But first, what strikes you most about Andy's escape?
It's more than just breaking free from physical constraints. It's like he's broken the system itself. He's outsmarted the warden, everyone who believed he could be contained.
Yeah, it's a powerful message of hope. But it also makes you wonder, what about the people left behind? Can they truly escape the shadow of Shawshank, even when the bars are gone?
That's a great question, and it leads us perfectly into the next part of the story, Red's journey after Shawshank, and what that reunion with Andy truly represents.
So Red's parole, it finally comes through after, what, almost 40 years?
It's hard to even imagine.
It is.
4 decades living within the confines of Shawshank.
Right, and you would think, walking out of those gates would be this feeling of pure liberation.
Right, like freedom.
But it's not that simple for Red, is it?
No, it's not. He's free, but, King doesn't let us forget about institutionalization.
Right.
How deeply it affects a person.
Yeah. He's grappling with a world that's moved on without him.
Yeah.
Haunted by the very system that he thought he had escaped.
It really makes you think how those years, those experiences, they just shape you.
They do.
Can you really escape that?
Yeah. Can you ever fully adapt after living under such strict control for so long?
Right.
It's a big question.
It is.
And it's one that we see Red wrestling with as we follow his journey.
Yeah, he gets this job at a supermarket, tries to blend in, follow the rules.
Tries to be normal.
But everything feels so foreign to him.
It does.
It's heartbreaking. He even asks permission for the smallest things.
I know.
Like to use the restroom.
Yeah, it's like those prison habits are just so deeply ingrained.
Yeah.
It really highlights just how powerful those systems are.
It does. There you go.
They shape not only your actions, but your thoughts, even your sense of self.
Right. Right. And it's interesting, even the places Red is drawn to, those abandoned lots, those deserted buildings, they echo Shawshank.
They do. It's like he's subconsciously seeking comfort in what he knows,
Yeah.
even though those experiences were rooted in pain and hardship.
It's like he's almost drawn to that familiarity.
He is.
But there's something else that's driving him, that pulls him forward.
That promise.
The promise he made to Andy.
To find him in Zihuatanejo.
Yeah. That becomes his anchor. It gives him a purpose, a reason to keep going.
Like it does.
When everything else just feels so overwhelming, like he's lost in this world he doesn't recognize anymore.
Exactly. And it's Andy's hope, that unwavering belief in a better future, it guides Red's steps.
It does.
Yeah.
But how do you interpret Red's journey to Mexico?
Well, it is a physical journey, right?
Yeah.
He's following those clues Andy left behind, each step bringing him closer to that beach in Zihuatanejo.
Right.
But it's also this journey of self-discovery.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Red, he's reclaiming his agency, his ability to make his own choices.
Yeah.
To choose a path that leads away from the darkness of Shawshank towards something brighter.
That's really interesting that you frame it that way, because I was struck by the contrast between Andy's escape and Red's journey.
Oh, yeah.
They both experience this kind of liberation, but they're so different.
They are. You're right.
So what do you think? I mean, what do you think King is trying to tell us with this contrast?
Well, I think he's showing us that true freedom is a really multifaceted thing. It's about, yes, breaking free from those external
The
constraints,
physical bars.
the physical bars, but it's also about breaking free from those internal barriers that hold us back.
I like that. And then when those two journeys, they finally converge
On that beach,
on that beach in Zihuatanejo, it's more than just a reunion at that point.
it's this incredible emotional release.
Yeah.
These two men who, against all odds, have overcome a system designed to crush them. They found each other again. In a place that represents hope and the chance for a brand new life.
I get chills thinking about that scene.
Me too.
Eh.
Their embrace on that beach. It's a testament to the strengths we draw from each other, even when everything else seems lost.
It really is. And Red's decision to stay with Andy, to leave behind everything he knew.
It speaks volumes. He's choosing hope.
Over familiarity.
Over familiarity, over everything he's ever known. He's embracing a future full of possibilities. A future he wouldn't have dared to imagine within those walls of Shawshank.
It's powerful. I keep coming back to that image of them on the beach. It just leaves you feeling so hopeful.
It does.
Believing that even in the darkest times, redemption is possible.
It is.
But it also makes you think about what confines us in our own lives.
What metaphorical Shawshanks we need to escape from.
What metaphorical escapes do you think King is hinting at?
I don't know. What do you think? Are there societal barriers holding you back, limiting beliefs that you need to break free from? Or maybe it's a situation, a relationship, a job that feels like a prison. What would it take for you to break free, to find your own Zihuatanejo?
Wow. Those are some really powerful questions.
They are. And they're worth pondering.
They are. And, it makes me think about another interesting element of the story. Those smaller stories that Red shares throughout the novella.
Oh, yeah. Those little anecdotes about the other inmates, their escape attempts, their tiny moments of triumph, and those crushing defeats.
It just adds another layer to this exploration of hope and resilience.
It does. It creates this tapestry of human experience within that microcosm of Shawshank,
Yeah.
highlighting all the different ways people cope and find meaning, even in the face of incredible adversity.
It's amazing how those smaller stories that Red tells, how they all weave together to create this really powerful statement about the human spirit.
It really is. Like each anecdote is another brushstroke, On this portrait of life inside Shawshank, it's a reminder that even in a system that's literally designed to crush people, to break them down, hope just finds a way.
Right. And it's not always about those big, grand gestures or some elaborate escape plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about finding those tiny moments of beauty,
Yeah,
connection, the things that just make life bearable.
absolutely. Think about that scene where Andy plays the opera music over the prison loudspeaker.
Oh, yeah.
It's this fleeting moment of transcendence, this reminder that beauty and art, they can exist even in the darkest of places.
And for those few minutes, the walls of Shawshank just seem to disappear.
They do.
The inmates, the guards, they're all united in that shared experience.
Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that even in a place like that where everything's about power and control, there's still this common thread of humanity.
It's beautiful, and it brings us back to Red. He's seen so much suffering,
He has.
so much despair,
Yeah,
but he never completely loses that hope.
that glimmer of hope.
Yeah, that belief in redemption. So what do you think it is about Andy that reignites that belief in Red?
I think it's Andy's unwavering faith in himself,
Yeah.
even when all hope seems lost.
Yeah,
Remember, Red initially dismisses Andy's escape plan as just a pipe dream,
he does.
but Andy never wavers. He clings to that vision of freedom. And in doing so, he helps Red to rediscover his own hope.
That's a great point. It's like Andy's hope, it's contagious.
That is.
It spreads to Red, and it helps him break free from his own chains.
These metaphorical chains.
His metaphorical chains, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the message that I keep coming back to. That even in those darkest places when you're surrounded by despair, hope can not only exist, it can flourish.
Absolutely.
And it can transform our lives and the lives of those around us.
Beautifully said. It really challenges us to think about how we can be beacons of hope for others. How can we inspire that belief in a brighter future?
It really does. This deep dive has been such an incredible journey.
It has.
We've really explored those depths of human resilience.
We have.
We've witnessed the power of hope.
The power of hope.
And we've confronted the harsh realities of a system that just wants to crush the human spirit.
Right.
But ultimately, this is a story about triumph. It's a story about believing that tomorrow can be better.
It is. And it leaves us with such a powerful message. It doesn't matter how dark things may seem or how trapped we may feel. there's always a chance for redemption,
For renewal.
for renewal,
For escape.
for escape.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. We hope you leave with that sense of hope
We do.
and maybe a deeper understanding of just how powerful the human spirit can be.
And a little inspiration, maybe, to chip away those walls in your own life.
Yeah, to embrace the possibility of a life filled with freedom and purpose.
Exactly.